Now it's time for our chart of the day, and here is Miles. What do you got today?
It's a chart that's going up and to the right. This time, it's wages. So we had the employment cost index came out earlier today. It showed that for the first time since 2008, wages for the private sector were up over 3%. Now, the ECI is kind of put together a little bit differently than the average hourly earning number. It factors in things like benefits, but it is another sign that wages continue to go up, that things for American workers continue to get better. So a theme that we've talked about a couple of times today with Scott Gamm is the idea that, well, the bond market and the Fed think something bad is happening in the economy. And I really just think the bond market is pricing in what the Fed said, which is that they're not going to raise rates anymore. But when you look at the fundamentals of the economy, and at the end of the day, the U.S. economy is the U.S. labor market. Not only are hundreds of thousands of people each month getting jobs, that pace of job creation kind of remains intact. They're getting paid more for those jobs. And so I think the fundamental setup for the U.S. economy hadn't really changed in the last 6 weeks. And in fact, it still looks quite strong. This number was from the fourth quarter of 2018, when we had everyone pricing in a recession. So I just think you kind of take a step back, you take a breath, you say, where's the economy going? What does the economy look like? You see a number like ECI, which looks back just long enough that we can have a little bit of perspective on it, and wages are going up. It's very plain and simple to see. So for everyone who says the economy is not doing that great, that's my take.
Miles, that looks like we're going to get some terrible inflation soon.
Yeah.
Well, sure. I mean, I think if you look at where the Fed, if you look at what the Fed has typically tolerated in terms of wage inflation, it hasn't tolerated any of it. And so you do sort of wonder, why isn't Powell pushing back against a clear trend higher in wages? Does Powell want people who are making less money to actually make more money? Now, I think that's a good policy. I'm just not sure if it's something Powell has thought about.
Of course, your chart shows we're still not back to where we were before the recession.
We are not.
For the last recession.
Still some time to go.
Miles, great chart. Rick Newman, thank you so much for joining us today.